Hello everyone, welcome back to Pathologic. We are talking to people, we are going places. I don't remember exactly who we're talking to or where we're going at the present moment, but I guess we just talked to we talked to Vlad Sr. just now. So it means we're gonna have to go talk to Vlad the Younger. So it's just like... Oh, there's a worm there in the corner, isn't that crazy? Don't care. I wonder if you can, like, skip ahead and talk to him early, and if that, like, changes, if, like, he's active, or if you have, like, different dialogue. I guess, theoretically, in-universe, if you talk to, young Vlad, before talking to old Vlad, you wouldn't have anything to talk to him about. Like, your character wouldn't know... Danikovsky wouldn't know, like, what to ask him, so... In that sense, I guess it is kind of justified in making you, do things in order. And also, I recognize this place, but I don't remember ever going to his place from this path. Which is why I am just a little disoriented here. But I mean, that's because we're not even headed in the right direction. I think we have to go, okay. Yeah, and that's walled off. Alright. Yeah, it's been a bit. Gonna have to relearn the map. That's just how it goes. I am willing to accept that. I am walking into a fence. More dumpsters to raid. Pretty cool. And these reset daily, right? Is the... deal. Okay, can I enter through the back? Like, is the worm out front here, or... I cannot enter that way. I don't think you ever could enter that way. Worm is not here, so we are grooving. Wow, cool thing I followed that worm here and didn't just magically know.
Where did those lazy bastards go?
I'm always asking myself that. Vlad the Younger, you found me here. Oh, I'm not surprised. I suppose you're not too surprised by the fact that everyone knows about you either. The rumor of your arrival spread like fire. Why have you come? I've come for some sightseeing. There was a peculiar incident yesterday by the spleen. The children were playing in the mud as usual, but suddenly they ran away from the sandbox, and their parents noticed that their hands were smothered in blood. However, none of them were wounded, neither were any of them surprised. What's the solution to the puzzle? When the worried adults came to the place where the children had been playing, they found nothing unusual there, only sticks and stones. What do you make of it? Your children play peculiar games. Nice to meet nice to meet a person of a skeptical mind. I'm Vladislav Lugimsky, the younger one, of course. And you are, of course, Daniel Benkovsky. Nice to meet you.
Katerina thinks Claire is a messenger from heaven. Yeah, right.
Bachelor, I have news for you that should prove to be of interest. You seem to be looking for the killer, right? I'm listening. I'll have to briefly explain a few things to you. Have you already been told what the termitary is? I'd like to hear you describe it. The termitary is a huge bunkhouse where the Bull Project workers live, although living is the wrong term for it. They nest. Their nesting is a communist, rather simple way of life. It could without reservation be called savage. And? Let's get to the point then. A case of pointless, aimless unrest has occurred in that hive mind's nest. The workers there are prone to lashing out from time to time like beasts frightened by a storm. They rage, they howl, they gnaw at one another, an unsightly image of a mass uprising. What does this have to do with Simon's murder? Riots occurred in the Termitary several times before. The mob goes crazy for a few days. Then they calm down just as unexpectedly. All of them at once. The sudden calm is just as void of reason as the unrest that had set them agog previously. Having a certain experience with the kin, we simply block off the entrance to the zoo until... We simply block the entrance to this zoo off until the riot defeats itself. And we usually lock them up beforehand. The evidence of an upcoming outbreak of mass lunacy becomes obvious in advance, and the Termitary's Father Superior informs us of us. But Father Tai Chi has recently passed. A curious coincidence, don't you think? Mass anarchy. Anyway, a member of the kin managed to run off into the town while we were busy taking measures. You think he's the killer? I think you and I can help each other, Doctor. You're looking for the killer, and I'm sure it is a runaway butcher. The title of a half-man suits him very nicely. The Canes claim that Simon had not been killed by a human hand, don't they? And our family doesn't need unnecessary unrest in the town. This butcher can babble devil knows what. His mind is most likely clouded with insane ideas. So you'd rather he kept mum about what is happening inside. You are correct. They barely know how to speak, though that only makes it worse. Half men, half beasts. If they start preaching, you feel as though you've encountered a doomsayer. I need this butcher to disappear. Hand him over to the Canes or simply kill him if the beast attacks you. The reward will be hefty. Very well, I'll look into this. Where can I find him? He's most likely being harbored in a suspicious house that's in the crude sprawl. Yes, my father is a man of rather hard-handed disposition and quick-tempered to boot. If he finds out the crude sprawl is concealing a fugitive, he'll make a mess. Pointless brutality serves no one. I'm looking for peace rather than blood, I'm telling you. I'll do my best to make sure you're right. Show me the house. Yeah. Okay. I forgot about this. Because, this is... Obviously we know that this isn't the killer, but do we need to do this in the plot, or is this just...
all sorts of tongues and plays all kinds of characters, even that of disinterest.
Is this just a side quest, I don't remember, or does this, is it just for a monetary reward? I mean, even then, we need money anyways, so... It's still not a bad idea, but... Anyways, let's do some dialogue trees first. See how it all turns out? I used to keep this place secret, but all these secrets seem so childish now. What do you think about Simon's death? It is known that Simon had limited his social activity just before his departure. He only received 2 visitors. I know nothing of the first, but the second was none other than Isidore Brock. The fact that he was killed the same night makes you think, doesn't it? The killer took out a witness? Or an accomplice. Isidore was a complicated man. Have I ever told you about his position in the kin? He used to be a very well-respected person there. I can't say everyone liked it. What do you mean? Isidore wasn't a doctor. He was more of a herbalist. He never studied medicine. All his recipes were about plants and roots, so to speak. He was knowledgeable, true. A sorcerer, if you will, but a very different one than Simon. An earthen sorcerer. I've never heard that Simon used to be a sorcerer before. Simon was a theurgist. Isidore was a witch doctor. And you think that Isidore the witch doctor has managed to achieve the unachievable. A possible theory, but rather questionable. Oh, can I talk with him again? There we go.
Interest speaks all sorts of tongues and plays all kinds of...
Vlad, now tell me, did Isidore visit you last night? Tell me the truth, please. Yes, Isidore did pay me a visit, but don't ask what we talked about. I have no right to share that with you. Right, I'm going to ask you one more question now. Your answer will determine whether you and I will become friends or enemies. Well then, I'd rather be your friend. Go ahead. What did you talk about? Tell me the truth, please. Isidore said, note that I'm merely retelling it secondhand. He said there's an epidemic in the steppe camps. An outbreak of Tarbagan sickness, perhaps. The plague, that is. Father had issued an order to lock the termitary up to prevent the infection from getting in. And were you so afraid of that you would conceal this? I don't understand. You did the right thing. There's an underlying sensitive family matter here. To cut a long story short, my father would kill me if he found out about this conversation. The unrest in the termitary, you see, well, I incited it to make father lock it up. He didn't believe Isidore. I see, now everything makes sense. We need to warn Reuben, it's very urgent. He's about to examine Simon as soon as the period of time required by the Canes passes. But where is he? I have no idea. Where is he staying? I don't know. There is a secret dissecting room in one of the warehouses, but no one knows where exactly. He used to live mostly in the steppe, sometimes sleeping in the termitary or at Laravel's shelter. But he's not there, I know that for sure. He went away to mourn his master. What would you have done if you were him? I'd wait for him at the Canes, it's simple. So that's something else we gotta do. He does tell us like what happened for real, which is good for him, I guess. It's helpful. Does he not? Yeah, he does have a supply of water. Looking at my, I gotta press every button. Yeah, that's just that, which we already read. Other tasks. Yes, we should do that as well, just to get money. That's not the main quest, but that will be helpful for us. How do we get there? Alright, we follow the railway, so we're gonna we're gonna follow this down to, where the rails are. We'll go down there. Like, this isn't the main plot, but like I said, we want to do a fair number of the side quests, and this will help. Like I said, if we get more money, we can buy more supplies. That means we'll get more, it'll be easier for us in the longer run. Like, eventually we're not gonna have, you know, in the later days you get more hard-pressed for money, so like the more food we can buy and use, the easier it's gonna be. I also do remember, like I said, I've been avoiding spoilers as much as I can, but I do remember reading that, like, food can go bad, so theoretically we don't want to just buy as much food as we can immediately, but I feel like it might be a good idea anyways. Like, I don't see the, I feel like it's worth it. I mean, like, we'll buy food near the end of the day anyways, so if it does all go bad, hopefully we won't lose as much time if we have to redo a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, so I'm just gonna be walking here. This is the first chance we get now in the new playthrough to speed through a section, so that's pretty exciting. Right, this is the place in question. I remember this all too well. We go into the house, it's real scary, and we're just gonna convince her to let the guy go rather than try to take care of him ourselves. Hey girl, what's going on?
To tame his impertinence, Earth had disgorged a monster from deep within its bowels.
Aspity. Do you know where to find clean water around here? Fresh water must be plentiful in this place. There's a river close by. All that water comes from the steppe, and it isn't exactly clean. Yesterday I inspected all the springs in the area. There seems to be no more clean water around. That salty taste is everywhere. It's reddish in color, and there are disgusting clots in it. Where can I find clean water, then? The townsfolk store clean water in homemade reservoirs. This modest supply should be enough to help us last a little while, but afterwards we'll have to drink that bloody mixture. How disgusting.
What?
What do you want, I wonder? There's Runaway living here. Take me to him. Why would I? He's in danger. I'm here to help. He's a butcher. He won't talk to you. You won't understand him. He's been here for more than a day. I think that's a typo, but even I can't get him to talk. It is I who'd rather tell you something. What do you want to tell me? Big Vlad has plugged the cemetery up for a reason. The butcher's mumbling is all over the place, but if you listen carefully, you'll make out tales of such horrors that I get shivers all over. Thousands of people have lost their minds all at once. Many have died. Something's brewing inside. Can you lead the runaway out of town? Really? Why? Here he's entertaining me. It's dangerous to go out into the steppe anyway. What if his pursuers rip me apart in the street? Or if they think I'm a Shebnak, a deer? What can you offer me in return for the service? Lead him out or I'll get killed. You can show me the door if you want, but thugs for hire will be less compliant. Fine, I'll take care of the butcher. He'll disappear. Consider him non-existent. But now you must leave. Don't try watching the door. You won't see anything anyway. And tell the Olgimskis thick-headed bloodhounds that they have no business here. I harbor no killers. Deal. Okay, hopefully that takes care of it.
Why is the cemetery so loud? What are they celebrating?
Your veins are all swollen. Does being close to me make your blood stir? Was there anyone around who would want to see Simon killed? Like, we know what killed him at this point, but getting more info is better. No one has seen the Shebnak yet, but everyone knows what he wants already. Do you know that a man-eater's victim feels the encroaching death? They know in advance their next on his list, so they walk out restlessly, waiting and waiting and waiting. And then the wait is over. That's how you can tell who's being hunted. Why are you calling her a he? I don't believe the man-eater is a woman. Anything is possible, of course, but I think it's sexless. That's very mean. You seem to be well informed. I mean, if it's sexless, why are you calling it a he? You should call it, I mean, they or it, depending on its, right? Depending on its animacy. This is Aspie's Hospice. I guess we just head back then. Because after this, we'll go report back to Vlad, and then we gotta find, the other Brock, right? The other doctor. I forget his name, because my brain is bad. I thought he waits at, like, Victor's after a certain point, so... like, once you progress a certain distance into the story, so that's something we'll have to, check up on once we're there. So I think you unlock it once you talk to, Vlad the Younger, but... I'm not certain. We'll find out. Alright, so the butcher should be taken care of, so hopefully we can get some money from young Vlad. Whatever.
Don't tell me that's not what you were expecting.
Or not? Okay. Do I, okay, well... we'll just carry on with our lives anyways. We'll save here. We'll see what to do next time. I had some sections edited out, like, with all the transits, so I don't know... if this video will end up being a little shorter. I don't really remember exactly how editing typically translates to watch time, but I can adjust for next time if need be. And as always, thank you for watching.